Today, we are talking about color grading GoPro Fusion footage, shot with the Protune and stitched in Fusion Studio with the brand new flat setting. If you got one of this GoPro Fusion camera and you're wondering what is the best setting to get the best color correction and how to do pose with this setting to get the best color correction in Lumetri, in Red Giant Colorista, or any color grading software you have, this is the tutorial for you. What's up everybody, it's your boy Hugh here from creator of GoPro Fusion 1.2 just released to give us as a 360 filmmaker more freedom to control our footage. There are two major features in this release. The first one is we can now output 5.2K video instead of 4.9K. That is benefit for us to mix this camera footage with other professional 360 video camera. The other really big feature is the flat profile out from the camera. So now you can actually output flat video profile from the camera so we can do creative color correction and color grading in post. So in order to do that, first make sure you're shooting in the correct setting. So here is my setting to shoot with the GoPro Fusion. So go ahead and connect your phone with your camera and then go into a setting, and then in here in resolution, make sure that you choose 5.2K, which is the highest resolution possible, and then turn on Protune. And then make sure the ISO limit is lowest possible. To me, it's 400. And that is the setting for the camera. It's very easy and simple. Now, I'll teach you how to do color grading after you stitch the footage in Fusion Studio. So after you import your footage into Fusion Studio 1.2, if your footage is shot with handheld, it's moving shot, make sure that you're using the full stabilization. But if you shot this on a tripod, I actually highly recommend you to not using stabilization. As you see that if you put none, actually the horizon line is straight, but if I actually using stabilization, the horizon line is actually not straight. The next thing, and actually it's the most important thing, is to set it into flat for your output. So default is with the GoPro color, but if you put in flat, this two slider is all the way down, and this will give you the large enough headroom for you to bring red highlight and rise up shadow. You can go ahead and hit add to render queue and just double check, make sure that you are on a cineform or ProRes, and then you're on 5.2K. If you're using spatial audio, you can check spatial audio, and then D-Rock is on. And then you can go ahead and render selected. So after rendering, you can bring the footage into your editing softwares of choice. To me, it's Adobe Premiere. In here, I brought in 3 different footage. I'll go ahead and hide the first 2. The first one, it is using the GoPro color, which is using this setting for the direct output. And that is what people usually do before the Fusion 1.2 update to get the best color. And usually from then forward, there's not much you can do. You can just go ahead and cut this footage and then render an output, and that's done. And this is actually the most easy workflow. So if you're a beginner and you don't want to go through the trouble to get rid of the GoPro look, you should not use a flat profile. The flat profile is really for people that really want to make its footage match to whatever professional camera they use, or try to get rid of their GoPro look, or try to recover highlight and bring back shadow. And for me, I kind of sick of people can tell that my video is shot with GoPro Fusion or not other camera. So that is one of the major reasons why I don't want to just use the GoPro color, and I want to have my own color profile and create my own look. As you see, the original GoPro color is a very saturated look. It looks really nice if that is what the look you're looking for. But if you really pay close attention to the people, especially my face, it is a little bit too red in my taste, and the whole thing is really too saturated. You see the skin color is not natural. It's really red, and it just have this really GoPro looking. Compare with this the flat profile, and this one is the Lumetri graded result. As you see, the skin color is more natural and it's less saturated. You take a look at the whole thing, and you can also see the highlight is less blowout compared to the GoPro Fusion. Take a look at the Fusion one. You can't see the sun at all. In this version, you can see the ring around the sun, the halo. So the highlight is really recovering. So according to GoPro, with the brand new flat profile, you can recover twice as much information compared to the GoPro color. So that is a huge improvement on recovering highlight or shadow. So now let me teach you how to color grade the GoPro flat profile. I go ahead and hide my Lumetri panel and drop in a new one. Before I start it, I want to make a disclaimer. I am not a professional colorist. So if you want to professionally done grading, you should consult your professional colorist. But again, if you shop with the GoPro Fusion, the chances are you will not have a colorist and you will not pay for a colorist to color grade your footage. You will do it yourself, and this tutorial to help you to grade your footage yourself to create your own look without spending a lot of money. So besides Lumetri, you should also open the Lumetri scopes like right here to see what you are doing in the graph. But the first thing I usually would do is go under the color wheel right here. And then look at the shadow. I will try to drop down the shadow to 0 point. As you see, to increase the contrast. And as you see, like black is really black right now as he's wearing a black jacket. And then I will go into basic color correction. I will also drop the black right here. But since it's already touching the bottom, so we don't need to adjust the black. The next thing I would usually do is recovering highlight. As you see right here, the sun is completely blown out. And I want to really recover it. So I will drop the highlight until you see the ring of the sun. If you want to recover shadow, you can rise the shadow. As you see now, the detail in the back of the boat is bringing out as well. And now the footage really wash out. But we have a more evenly spread out color and all the information is recovered. As you see here, the white level is actually touching the 100% point. Let me see if I pull down the white to see if we can bring out more information. As you see, if I pull down the white, you see more information and bring it back into the scene, and the sun is even more obvious now. So that's good. So I think now most of the information got clipped is already bringing back into the footage, which is great. And now the last step is we need to just bring back the saturation that is lost in the flat profile. So in the saturation slider right here, go ahead and crank it up a lot. I can even max it out because the flat profile from GoPro is really desaturated, so you can go crazy with the saturation. Actually, I will bring it around right here. That should be good. So just do a quick comparison with the GoPro color and this color. I think it's not more natural, less contrary and less saturated. And also the skin color, if you pay attention to the skin color, it's really that skin color instead of that really reddish look. You can tell this really reddish, and that's a natural skin color. The next thing I will do is bring back some of the contrast. So I will drop the shadow, but I will do it really minimum, because I don't want all the information I brought back lost again through the contrast. There's a very popular color style right now, is kick the back, right, like that, to bring back the shadow. It's a really popular color grading curve. This depends on personal taste. If you don't like it, you don't need to do that. And then the next very important thing is to boost or desaturate color. So one thing I can show you later is GoPro Fusion does add into a lot of magenta and purple into the scene, and you will need to cut them out. So step one, I will actually go ahead and cut out the purple as much as possible. You won't be able to see here because the flat profile, but I will show you later when I put up the saturation. You will see there's a crazy purple around all the white area that's need to get rid of. And the next thing is I really want to move the saturation back on the river. And turn off Lumetri and turn back on. It looked really nice in my taste. So this is how you want to manually color grade the flat GoPro Fusion footage. And now let me show you another way to color grade this. And go ahead and hide this layer and turn on this layer. That is my filmic look. So as you see here, because in the final footage, I'm gonna replace the drone and replace the entire sky. So I don't really care about the highlight of the sun. And you can compare that with GoPro Fusion. That is Fusion, reddish look, and really starlight look. So another way to grade GoPro Fusion footage is actually using a LUT. First of all, turn on Lumetri color, and that is the original GoPro flat. Drop on a new Lumetri right here, and then open Creative, and go ahead and pick one of the look you have from your traditional 2D profile. I have this look profile. I have this specially made profile for most of my 360 video look. First, this is way too much, but it's okay because we can adjust the intensity right here for the profile. About 80. It's pretty good. And then I go back to the basic. We cover some of the highlight by pull the highlight back, rise the shadow to reduce some of the contrast, and that's looking really good. So let me show you one thing about the problem actually created by the lens of GoPro Fusion and majority of the consumer 360 camera. If you go ahead and bring the vibrance up under the creative tab, and you will see the nasty purple thing on the ground, on the river, and on the building. So we really want to get rid of that nasty purple. So that's one important step is you go down to the curve, go down to the color wheel. Again, that's why we actually get rid of purples. Okay, great. So now let's reset the vibrance. So now the footage should look more natural and less purple and red on the face or other color range. So in here, you can continue to boost. Okay, now it's looking really good. Before, that's after. And really have that filmic look right now. And compare that with the Fusion color. That is the Fusion color. Have this very action camera oversaturated look. And this is color grade with my filmic LUT. And really have that film look. Which you see right here. Let's look at one more example. So this is more an indoor shot of a person. My friend Saucy is DJing. So that is the original GoPro color. And again, look at his face, look at her face, look at her skin. It's also a little bit purple and reddish. And this time, instead of Lumetri, I'm gonna use Colorista to color grade this. Because actually a lot of people, a 2D filmmaker, like to use Colorista to color grade stuff. So I also want to show you the whole process in Colorista, which actually gives you even more control than Lumetri. So take a look at that is the Colorista final. Pay attention. That is GoPro, really soft, really reddish look. And that is Colorista. It's more natural skin color, as you see, as a better highlight and shadow comparison. And also see the background, if you pay attention. That's color. Like, look at the highlight area. And that is Colorista. Have a more natural roll off in the highlight area as well. And less action camera look. Look at the indoor. Look at me right here. That's GoPro. That's Colorista. And last thing I do, because in the flat profile, we actually did not sharpen the footage. So the last step, I've always add NVR sharpening. And now let's pay attention on her tattoo. Before that, let's take a look at the GoPro version. In the GoPro version, you cannot really see her tattoo right here on her hand. With the sharpening, you can actually clearly tell her tattoo right now is the music note. It's a really cool tattoo. Again, I will usually denoise before I actually react sharpening in here, but I want to keep this video short and I will teach you how to denoise GoPro Fusion footage in the next tutorial. But let's just pay attention. This is the final look. That's what GoPro color is. So it's a huge improvement if you really do it right. And now let me teach you how to do that. So this is the original flat profile directly out from Fusion Studio. Go ahead and type Red Giant, Colorista 5, drop it onto the footage. Step 1 of Colorista, I actually gonna use the guided color correction. Go ahead and continue. And they have a really nice flat video, and this is shot with the flat Fusion Protune profile. So I can go ahead and pick the flat video. And then we'll give you a suggestion of the black level. I will actually rise up the black a little bit more to really bring back the dark area, especially her face is in the shadow. And then in white, you see all the red information is the blowout area. You really want to drop the white to really protect those information, to bring the information back. And in the midtone, I will just use the suggestion. And then I'll drop the contrast a little bit. And then in saturation, remember that GoPro Fusion Flat is really desaturated in the GoPro Fusion color. So you can max out saturation here. So in a Colorista, instead of just picking neutral gray, I can also get skin tone color to match the scene with her skin color right here. So now we can finish it. So without Colorista, with Colorista, as you see, the skin color look really nice. The next thing I will do in Colorista is bring back some of the contrast with the curve. So same thing, I will do the slightly S curve to bring back some of the contrast, but I don't want to crush the dark too much because her face is in the shadow. That should be alright. And then the next thing, remember the purple problem? I'm gonna drop the saturation of all the purple. And another thing I can do is I can rotate this whole section out using different Colorista to really brighten her skin. Again, I don't want to go too in depth in Colorista here, so I will keep just using one Colorista and do an overall color grade. And next step I will do is right here, I will bring up the shadow. As you see, I bring up the shadow. Her face now is coming back, and I drop the highlight right here. So make sure around 90 and 10, it should be good. And now I can really see her face. And the next thing, I add some pop. See, when I bring up the pop, I can see a more defined highlight versus shadow, and his face it become more defined. And last step is resharpening the 360 footage. So you can go ahead and type in VR. You have the BCC, which is Voice Effect Continuum VR Sharpening. Drop it into the footage. Usually we would just pick a preset, should be good enough. And then also, instead of 100%, which is you see right here is 100%, I probably around 60% should be good enough on this footage. So this is the grading with Colorista and the Voice Effect Continuum VR Sharpening. And this is the GoPro Fusion. As you see the GoPro Fusion, you will not be able to, or really hard to see her face. With the Colorista, we can really see her facial structure and accentuate the highlight and the shadow and look more natural and filmic. So if you want to take a look at the final result, go check out my brand new 360 music video called The Wonk and look at the quality yourself. Again, if you like this tutorial, don't forget to give me a thumb up. In the next tutorial, I'm gonna teach you the full workflow on how to, from start to finish, to edit your GoPro Fusion video to create not Tiny Planet, but a real 360 video, which I did not find a lot of resources out there on the internet. I will share all my knowledge to you freely. All I ask for you to do is give me a like, share my video, subscribe to my channel, and just comment and tell me I do a good job or bad job. And I'm also gonna show you how I do all the post-production, like insert the graphic, the text, get a seamless effect, sync with the music, and all the essential to create music video in 360 environment, so you learn everything. So if you want to learn that tutorial, don't forget to subscribe to my channel again, and I will see you next time.
the rock.